Every day, something dramatic happens in the Caribbean that affects our lives. We'll give you the details. We'll give you the facts on Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick. Here's Eddie Frederick.
So glad you can join us. Barbados will decide the way forward with or without the IMF at the right time. This story takes the lead in today's edition of Caribbean Perspective for Friday, 14th January 2022. Details when we return.
Conveniently located in the Grand Anne Shopping Centre, for over 40 years, Food Fair has provided quality service at affordable prices. Now, grocery shopping is made easier and more convenient from the Food Fair web store.
Hey, babe. Listen, I need you to go down to Food Fair to get some groceries.
All right, no problem. Right away.
Thanks, babe. What are you doing? You're supposed to be going Food Fair to get a grocery, man.
I am, but didn't you know you can order your groceries online from the Food Fair web store?
Are you serious?
Of course. All you have to do is just to log on to www.foodfair.gd with credit card in hand, and with an order of $100 or more, Food Fair Grand Anse will deliver up to 3 miles away. And you don't even have to worry about your information, you know. Their safety measures are excellent.
So hold on. You just order online and Food Fair will deliver to you?
Yep.
Oh, baby, better hurry up and order, man.
I already did. They should be here any minute now.
Enjoy easy online shopping anytime from your home or office from the Food Fair web store. Food Fair, where you can fill your baskets without emptying your pockets.
Welcome back. Amid calls for the government to say whether it will continue with the IMF program for Barbados if re-elected to office, Prime Minister Mia Mottley says her government will decide that at the right time. Details in this report.
There is no government that has been more transparent about its dealings with the International Monetary Fund than this government. And when the program finishes, we will do the assessment to see what is needed. But you don't do the assessment before looking at the outturn figures.
On the Democratic Labour Party platform, President Verla de Pisa raised questions about whether the Barbados Labour Party is heading into the January 19 election as a house divided.
Can you imagine? You have 30 seats. Some will say 29 and one in opposition. So I will give that. You have 29 of 30 seats. And you have the temerity to stand and face the people of Barbados and talk about how we are divided. And you need to have unity. And there needs to be one voice. That division will have to be inside your house.
Over in Jamaica, the opposition People's National Party (PNP) continue to insist that it is willing to sit with government to discuss a crime-fighting policy for the nation's good. TVJ's Codian Barrett reports.
Opposition spokesman on national security Peter Bunting has accused Prime Minister Andrew Holness of not being honest to the Jamaican people on matters associated with crime. Mr. Bunting, who was speaking at a media press conference at the party headquarters, says the opposition has constantly demonstrated its commitment to a partnership approach to tackling the problem of crime, but it has found it difficult working with the government.
It is very difficult to effectively partner with a government as insincere and fundamentally dishonest as this one is proving itself to be.
Mr. Bunting says the opposition was never in agreement with the use of states of emergency as part of the crime consensus agreement.
The Prime Minister, as recently as Sunday, continued gaslighting the public about the opposition's supposed agreement with the use of states of emergency as part of that crime consensus agreement. The Prime Minister well knows that he was blatantly lying to the people of Jamaica. He well knows. We had this discussion with his deputy, Minister Horace Chang, at the Crime Management Oversight Committee. We had this dialogue in just November last year.
He further added that there's a need now more than ever for attention to be placed on improving the welfare and compensation issues now plaguing members of the JCF. He has also blasted the government for blaming the opposition for its failure with crime.
Anytime a government resorts to blaming the opposition for its failure to deliver on their mandate, it is a clear sign that they have outlived their usefulness. And if the government can't deal with crime, then the government itself is part of the problem.
I'm Cody Ann Barrett.
You're listening to Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick.
Turning our attention now to Guyana, where a major investigation into financial impropriety at the headquarters of the Guyana Fire Service has been launched, and the fire chief is placed at the center of it. Gordon Mosley of News Source Guyana reports.
News Source understands that the investigations were prompted by an audit of the operations at the fire service headquarters, which raised several worrying issues. Parts of the investigations currently underway involves the price that companies were being charged for petroleum license and safety certificates. There are reports that some companies were charged as much as 100 times above the official cost for the license and certificates, with no trace of the funds being left behind. One company was charged $1.5 million for a safety certificate that carries a cost of $100. It is suspected that the company and other companies might have been provided with fake receipts that are not linked to the fire services accounts. It is also believed that other services were also overcharged, and there is no direct trace of the money from many of those services. The fire chief was reportedly warned during meetings about the financial issues that were linked directly to him, and told to discontinue the practice of being directly involved in the financial activities of the headquarters. News Source has seen documents that show that the issue was forwarded to the Ministry of Home Affairs, prompting the internal investigations. As part of the investigation, statements were submitted by staffers in the administrative department of the fire service headquarters, as well as some of the other divisional stations. In one statement, it was explained that there were a number of changes implemented with regard to the application, submission, and approval of the safety certificates when the new fire chief took over. Some departments were bypassed from oversight, and it was the fire chief's office that started to deal directly with the applications and approvals and receipt of payments. The investigation dates back to a number of activities that took place from April last year under the watch of the fire chief. Earlier this week, several firemen in a statement indicated that there should be no extension of the contract of the fire chief, who is expected to proceed on retirement soon. Many of the officers have accused him of bad management of the fire service and also believe that an extension of his contract could lead to delays in other promotions.
The Bahamas and the international film world continue to mourn the passing of Hollywood icon Sir Sidney Poitier. More in this report with Keisha Adderley, who tells us that Prime Minister Philip Davis led in tribute to this great star and role model.
I've instructed that the Bahamian flag be flown at half-mast at home and in our embassies around the world. We know the world mourns with us. So Sydney's light will continue to shine brightly for generations to come.
From humble Cat Island roots, Sir Sidney Poitier was a class act the world got to know. His life and times on screen and off reflecting the changing scenes of life for people of color locked in and out of misperceptions of who they were and who they could become. Sir Sidney broke ground with roles like the 1950s film No Way Out, as his daughter Pamela remembers.
So it was a breakout role. It was a breakout film because it turned it around. Professionals were this African American man, and the downtrodden or the poor people were the white people. So it gave us a sense of we can be somebody. We do have value.
That film was banned in many places, including the Bahamas, by the Bay Street Censorship Board because it broadcast a bold message and shattered the status quo. But that groundbreaking role was just the beginning. The classic Guess Who's Coming to Dinner served up another dose of the changing reality of race relations. Actor Frederick remembers the man he saw as a father figure as humble. He recalls a classic interview response.
He simply said, just a barefoot boy with attitude. That was Sidney.
Though simple he may have seen himself, Sir Sidney bridged a significant gap. In 2012, he returned home as the government named the northbound Paradise Island Bridge in his honor. He took the opportunity to speak to the youth about their future.
You are the gifts the golden gifts of ancestors long gone. You are the magic future of your education. The journey you are destined to make through your lifetime will be registered in the annals of history for centuries to come.
Sir Sidney was the recipient of the 2009 Presidential Medal of Freedom, America's highest civilian honor, by President Barack Obama. His credits also include starring roles in 1963's Lilies of the Field, the role that led to one of his crowning accomplishments, a Best Actor Academy Award, the first person of color to accomplish the feat. Poitier was knighted by the Queen in 1979, and he served the Bahamas as ambassador to Japan and UNESCO. Back home, Prime Minister Davis remembers the pride of Cat Island and Hollywood's elite as a life and character to emulate.
The humanitarian who used his steely determination not just to better himself, but to better the world that he lived in, filtered through the milk of human kindness, and all of it achieved without sacrificing integrity, charm, elegance, or wit. These things don't come easily, but the fight can be good. Your peers don't give you an Oscar, you win an Oscar.
Keishla Adderley, ZNS Network News.
Conveniently located in the Grand Shopping Center, for over 40 years, Food Fair has provided quality service at affordable prices. Now, grocery shopping is made easier and more convenient from the Food Fair web store.
Hey, babe. Listen, I need you to go down to Food Fair to get some groceries.
All right, no problem. Right away.
Thanks, babe. What are you doing? You're supposed to be going Food Fair to get a grocery, man.
I am, but didn't you know you can order your groceries online from the Food Fair web store?
Are you serious?
Of course. All you have to do is just to log on to www.foodfair.gd with credit card in hand, and with an order of $100 or more, Food Fair granaries will deliver up to 3 miles away. And you don't even have to worry about your information, you know. Their safety measures are excellent.
So hold on. You just order online and Food Fair will deliver to you?
Yep.
Oh, baby, better hurry up and order, man.
I already did. They should be here any minute now.
Enjoy easy online shopping anytime from your home or office from the Food Fair web store. Food Fair, where you can fill your baskets without emptying your pockets.
I am Eddie Frederick, wishing you a restful weekend. This has been Caribbean Perspective, a whole new approach to highlighting developments in the Caribbean. In the meantime, please continue to log on to CaribbeanPerspective.com for more daily news and more.